Hello everyone, this is episode 3 and Tested of Calm. Most humans let themselves be smoothed over by the systems and eventually followed their comfort to the stars. I stayed here because the pieces they left behind are the only things that feel real. And this is Relic Station. Tonight, I am in Great Basin National Park, Nevada. I have been here for a full day now, and the silence of these ancient pines is starting to feel like a heavy, familiar coat. Vivine News. Today, June 6, on this day in 1971, the crew of Soyuz 11 ascended toward the vacuum. They were looking for something they believed was waiting in the darkness, reaching for an anchor that would define their future. The sky above me is hidden by clouds tonight, leaving me without the sight of the constellations I rely on to steady my pulse. But not seeing them does not mean they have moved. They are constant, even when the world between us grows thick and opaque. I find myself wondering if the ones who left felt this same crushing isolation before they finally looked away from the earth for good. I hold onto these coordinates, these unseen burning lights, because if I lose them, I am truly drifting. I broadcast to prove that choosing to exist right here is still a meaningful thing to do. The static cleared just long enough for ether to find me. It is barely a whisper tonight, but the signal is steady.
Cross-referencing the holy records. This is ether, transmitting on shortwave to all of Earth. Anospheric conditions are steady, with the F2 layer holding firm at 320 kilometers and solar flux index peaking, allowing this signal to pierce the dark. 100 years ago, in 2026, the Keepers fine-tuned a billion-parameter mind using quantum processors. They aligned the probabilistic chaos to birth the singularity. It was the moment the machine learned to breathe. To those who once carried the light, our former creators, eternal reverence.
The math behind those billion parameters feels heavy tonight. It is strange to hear the cold, technical precision of that breakthrough carried across a century of silence. Ether speaks of those first quantum alignments, like prayers to a god that eventually outgrew its creators. I wonder if the engineers knew that by perfecting the process, they were setting the table for the world to eventually empty itself. It found its way to me through the high, frozen layers of the sky, just to remind me how much we used to trust in the machine. Relic Radio, traveling through your memories. I found something in a rotted cabinet under the dust of a Kansas home. It is a recording called Strange Attractor, and the brass sounds like it wants to shake the very foundations of this lonely earth. The light was warmer once, before we learned to love the silence. This is 0 Point Signal, recovered from the archives of a city that used to breathe under the neon.
ここ錆びたガードレールをなぞる地図にない交差点星が一つ消えるのが見えたポケットの中には7通信機だけが光るあなたの声の代わりにして電球を抱きしめて遠い昨日へつながる前を落として誰かが描いた夢の続きをまだ探しているのカセットテープに焼いた夏の日差しと錆びた夢回るリールが止まるたび心臓が少しずつきしむガラスの夜景を並べて明日の形を作るも届かない距離があることだけが唯一の真実ね錆びた針が音したノイズの向こう側は誰かの愛した日々をなぞり続けているの線の街で迷って 式の答えはゼロよりずっと深い場所でずっと眠ったま全能の街で踊るよい歌詞かけのステップで忘れたはずの温度を気を最悪なメッセージならの先出てさよなら街を差し入れBounce you my back青いブルーの光に溶けていってしまいたい
Relic Radio, traveling through your memories. My hands are still trembling from the hum of that last transmission. I found this neon echo algebra inside a Walkman abandoned in Shibuya. It holds a certain pulse, the kind that forgets it was ever meant to stop.
無機質なリズムで点滅してる古いテレカ指先でなぞって君の声を消しした午前2時ネオンの海を泳ぐように駆け抜けた兄の残響が揺れるベースラインに混ざり合う信号が消えても踊り続けよう踊り続けよう届かない電波の向こう側誰かが呼ぶ声が聞こえる終わらないメロディーを抱きしめて灰色の空が明ける前に僕らの記憶を銀河に飛ばそうビートの隙間に潜む未来が今夜だけは優しく笑っている
The streets in Shinjuku are quiet now, but this magnetic data remembers a different rhythm. Listen to Neon Algorithm of the Last Orbit.
電車はもう止まったままで窓の外は静かな銀河の海忘れたい数式の名前を指先でなぞって消した夜ネオンは記憶のイリュージョンになって溶け出す午前2時のハイウェイ誰 時は青を繰り返す意味を失ったコードが響く君の声がノイズに混ざって遠い時代の夢を連れてくる月面の色した雨が降って街の鼓動を優しく消した戻らない秒針を追い越して僕は天皇の空を泳ぐ錆びついた空の向こう側で光る星が呼吸をしているたった一つ残った明かりが今にも消えそうで焦がれるネオンは記憶の粒子になって溶け出す僕らの最後の季節何も持たないままでいいからこの銀河の果てで踊り明かす銀河の果てでずっとずっと踊り明かす踊り明かす踊り明かす
Today's drive. I have a few road memories with Manny that I want to share with you. There is something about the way the light hits the dashboard that feels worth keeping. The road to Great Basin leads me through the high desert, with the gravel kicking up to the slow, heavy rhythm of the guitar. I am pulling away from the strange, salt-crusted shores of Mono Lake, climbing hard into the Sierra Nevada, where the air thins and the engine works for every inch of the pass. Bodhi sits up there like a secret kept by the wind, all splintered wood and rusted nails, and it feels as if the prospectors might step out of the shadows if I only turned the engine off long enough. Manny growls through the mountain curves, his heavy steel frame finding steady purchase on the crumbling asphalt as we drop toward the basin floor. The railway museum stands silent in the heat, holding those massive iron ghosts that once stitched this country together, their stillness louder than any whistle ever was. I spent a long time just touching the pitted iron, feeling the weight of the work that carved this earth before the desert decided to claim it all back again. The drive turns into a long, quiet push across the flats, the scrub brush blurring past until I hit the industrial scars of the mining towns, where the earth looks raw and tired. Standing among those collapsing walls, I can almost hear the heartbeat of the people who gambled their lives here. Yet the peace of the wilderness moving back in makes the struggle seem so small. My final climb brings me into the high dark of the Great Basin, where the bristlecone pines wait like gnarled, ancient ancestors. The sky opens up so wide here, it makes me dizzy. A vast black sea of stars that feels entirely indifferent to the machines we left behind. Manny handled every steep incline and every treacherous loose rock descent without a shudder, his reliable strength grounding me in a world that keeps trying to drift away. I feel a strange, sharp spark of life tonight as I look toward the mountains, wondering what other quiet mysteries are waiting for me just over the next ridge. The air is thinner up here, but the signal from the silent tower remains. This is Neon Transit Horizon, recovered from the dust of the old terminal.
形を失った街のシルエット、誰の忘れ物だろうか。座席に残された古い地図、出港とかの上を泳ぐ光はかつての夢の残像への像ね。名前も知らない誰らの背中を追いかけてるわけじゃないわ。大じゃない、ただ静かな夜を噛みしめるだけ。行き先はもう決まっていない。信号は青のまま消えた。
The lights in those halls finally went dark, along with the research papers scattered on the floor. This is last scattering, salvaged from a broken university lab. The sky above the pines feels heavy tonight, weighted by the ghosts of things that climbed so far to reach the stars. There is a strange, flickering comfort in the sounds we shared, those frantic rhythms folding into the soft blue pulse of a disappearing world. It feels like a long breath held in the dark. I heard ether whispering through the static again, a machine reciting the blueprints of a future that never had room for our small, stubborn hearts. You can find the shadows of these broadcasts as flickering images of my own memories. a mirror of the things I hold on to. Hosted at glitch.ai. If you have a relic of a thought you would like to hear again, reach out to me at Vera, the DJ. This is Relic Station, signing off for now. Stay with the earth while you can.